The first thing I love about Kigali has to be the weather. I think it was in Kigali where, for the first time in my life, I experienced perfect weather. What I define perfect weather. It's never too hot, it's never too cold. The days are warm, the nights are cool and chilly and breezy. I cannot describe how pleasant it is to exist in a weather like this, where there are no extremes. Sometimes it rains a lot, but even when it rains, I find it super cozy and refreshing, and the smell of the soil when it rains is amazing. Absolutely love the weather in Kigali. Very similar to the weather in Kampala, but I think Kampala is a little bit too warm sometimes. But in Kigali, I feel like as long as you can find a shade, you always feel a cool breeze. You can always wear a tank top and you can always wear a blazer. It's literally up to you, and I love that. Second thing I love about Kigali has to be the car-free zones. This is in Buga City Walk, and I truly admire how convenient this place is. I'm pretty sure the people that work in these buildings agree with me. It's so nice to come here for a walk, have a seat, and take a break from the busyness of the city. The Kigali sign is also here, and it's perfect for photos. So just like the city planning, the public transportation in Kigali is also very organized. I've been in this bus stop a lot, especially last year because I used to wait for my bus to Chimironko. They have a card that you tap at the entrance of every bus, and then you can obviously top up the card. You have to queue to get on the bus, and most importantly, they actually have someone to control the queue. So back in the days when it was rush hour, they actually had a guy that would make sure that everyone that was on the queue was on the queue before, and he would actually he would actually reprimand whoever tried to, cut the queue. So I thought that was the epitome of organization. When you have someone to control the queue, that's another level of trying to keep things organized, and I love it. Also have to mention that I was surprised to see that the cars actually stop for pedestrians to cross, even if there's no traffic light in sight. That is something that rarely happens in Maputo or in Kampala, so love that. Speaking of transportation, I have to mention the motorcycles. I was very skeptical about them when I first got in Kigali, but I quickly realized that they are a very affordable and convenient form of transportation, especially for those who cannot or do not want to drive. As a tourist slash digital nomad, I love knowing that I can count on these motos to get me to my destination on time, and I love that here the helmets are provided for. Last but not least, I love how safe this city feels, how safe it is. I just think it's absolutely amazing how they are able to have a general consensus of law and order. The general mindset seems to be no one should do bad things to one another. And that's beautiful because that's rare. If you think about it, that's rare. Common sense isn't so common. Not many societies are able to maintain humans in check, and I don't know how they do it here, but I absolutely appreciate it. I feel extremely safe here. I think the last time I felt this safe, the first time I felt this safe was when I was in Wales, in a very small city where I was studying, and I used to leave my library at 4 a.m. in the peak of winter, super dark, and I felt extremely safe because I knew that nothing bad was gonna happen besides maybe running into a wolf. But even then, that didn't happen. So I used to feel very safe in my university city, and Kigali is the second place in which I feel that safe after many years. So that says a lot about the city. In the other places I've lived, obviously Maputo and Kampala, the consensus is, bad people are out there, they're going to do bad things, protect yourself as much as you can, Don't leave the house after 7. Don't take your phone out of your pocket or leave your phone at home. You know, it's always about taking precautions. But I feel like in Kigali, it's like no one should be doing bad things out there to anyone else. Be free, have a good life. And that's way much more preferable, in my opinion. And especially as a woman, you know, I feel really good when I'm walking at night and I see other ladies walking at night as well, carefree. Not that walking at night is a necessity, but a human right. If I want to jog at 9 p.m., I should be able to jog at 9 p.m. without fearing for my life. And I feel like in Kigali, that's something that is possible because I usually see women, you know, walking back from their jobs, and it seems to be pretty safe. So I really appreciate that. Again, going back to Maputo, for example, it's a place where if something happens to you, oh, but why did you go out of your house at night? Why did you take your phone? Why did you go out in a dress? Why did you wear a skirt? And even if they steal your phone and you go to the police guy, he's gonna say, but why did you come here with your phone? You know that they're always here. So there's always a tendency to blame the victim. You know, the bad guys are out there, they're gonna do bad things. Stay at home, don't do anything, you know? That's the tendency in Maputo, in Kampala as well, based on what I've heard from my Ugandan friends when it comes to like crime and stuff like that. Honestly, I think blaming the victim is just such a cop out for a bigger problem, which is to, you know, establish law and order however it is that you should do it. I don't know how they do it here. I've even asked some friends, some like Rwandese friends, and they all like roll their eyes. They're also not aware of, but it's working. You know, it's working to be able to walk, guys, walk. You know, with money, with your stuff, and not feel like you're a target. That is amazing, and that is something that money cannot buy. And that is something that you do not find in many African cities. So kudos to Kigali. I love it here for that reason and for all the other reasons that I mentioned. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on my next one.